sales has got a bad reputation. People don't say sales, they use euphemisms, right? To say, oh, I'm in business development, consulting, etc. Right? But here I see you proudly saying, hey, I sell. Right? And what made you make good friends with selling?
See, selling, I won't lie, it was not a smooth process. It wasn't easy. I was away. I've been bouncing from one country to another. I think one thing that makes sales easy is when you have those relationships, that you nurture them over the years and so on. I mean, I can say now that after being here for 12 years, I invested a lot of time in building relationships. I invested a lot of time listening to people. I invested a lot of time socializing with people. I invested a lot of time not selling, but listening. I think my sales strategy was be a good listener. Listen, just keep listening. And the more you listen, the more information you get. The more information you get, the better positioned you are to shape a solution.
Very nice. So, I mean, just stay quiet, just listen, and that's what it is. Tell me a little bit about how you build good quality relationships, because that's the foundation, right? I mean, what's been your idea about a good, strong client relationship, Shatha?
See, there is relationships that happen before sales, and then there is relationships that happen during sales and after sales. And I think it's a whole cycle, right? Before sales, people need to know who you are as a person. They need to know, what do you have to offer on the table? Are you genuine? Are you patient? Are you genuinely listening to sell, or are you listening to solve a problem? You know, and of course during the sales, and I think I'm proud to say this actually, because a lot of people struggle with the sales period as far as dealing with relationships. And for me, I have a very different strategy. One is I don't do negotiations. I'm not here to play numbers. So I have a number on board. I'm very transparent about what this number looks like, what is it going to serve, and so on. So, you know, when people come in and call me and they say, hey, you know, can you come in and give us a 50% discount? I said, I'm selling a service. I'm selling my time. I'm selling a solution to you. And I can see that there is a different trend in sales where people are like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's give you 40, 30. I'm like, and I remember telling this to one client, and actually it was a enlightening moment for me, where I think I was so aggravated by a ridiculous discount request. And they basically said, the job is yours if you give us 50%. So I told the client, I just have one question for you. If I give you the 50%, there's two parts to a problem. Either I ripped you off by 50%, because I will obviously not do a job at a loss. Okay. And in the world of consulting, we don't make 50% margin. Okay. We're lucky if we make 10 to 20%. Number two, if I do that because I'm desperate and I want to get my foot in the door, because sometimes consultants do that. They're like, listen, it's worth the investment. Let's get our foot in the door and then we can expand that relationship. Then we're talking about unethical pricing, that you're making me deliver something and you're not compensating me for that work. So how do you feel about that? And believe it or not, to my surprise, we got awarded without negotiations. And so even my team was shocked, because they said, Shatha, did you just blow it? You know, like you just said no on the table. And you basically said it's an unethical pricing. I said, well, I think part of my job is to also educate the other side.
Very nice.
What sales is. And I'm sure, you know, I'm sure they'll take this with them when they go to next negotiations. If somebody offers 50%, I think they'll take a step back instead of getting excited and saying, let's work with them because they gave us a 50%. You know?
Very nice. Very nice. And I'm thinking about it differently, Shatha. The reason the customer gave you the business is because they found value in what you're delivering.
100%. And I think also, you know, in sales, and I mean, I've been in a situation where a salesperson comes to me, and actually very often those who say, listen, this is my final price, you can take it or leave it. It makes me think twice that, wait a minute, they seem to be fairly confident. They're not willing to compromise on the price. And, you know, maybe this is the market price. And I always tell clients, go out there in the market, meet the people. So, you know, sales is not just what's a number on a piece of paper, meet the people. And I said, you can talk to others if you don't like what we've technically proposed and you don't like the team that you met. But then it's like, no, we don't want to change anything. Let's proceed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Tell me, I mean, I think what would be very useful for other leaders in sales who are watching this, Shatha, is what have you learned about value creation? Because that's the foundation, right? If we don't create value, then this price conversation comes in. If there is enough
100%.
value, then nobody's talking price anyways. I mean, tell us one or two things about what you have learned about value creation, Shatha.
See, one thing is we always try to have these conversations with clients before pitching in for anything. So even if a client says, I want you to come in, and I remember, I'll give you a reverse story to address the value creation. I had one of my team members in my previous job, and they came up to me and said, listen, Shatha, I got you a lead, go meet with the client and you can sell the job. It's done. It's a done deal. And I said, what is it that they want? And he said, this is what they want. I said, how did you sell it? He said, I just told them what we do. So they'll buy it from you. I said, but do you know if it's a problem that they have? And he says, it doesn't matter. They want to buy it. So I said, I find this a bit weird. So I said, anyways, let me go talk to the client. And when I spoke to the client, it was not something that the client needed. So he heard about that call and he's like, what are you doing? I'm trying to bring business to you and you just shut that door. I said, listen, we don't open doors by just closing one deal. And it's not something that they need. Yes, you'll win a deal today, maybe $50,000, close it, everybody's happy, but it's not creating any value for the client and it's not what they need. But that conversation that I had with them, I told them, listen, this is not what you need. What you need to look at is XYZ, converted into a $300,000 deal. And that 300,000 was made for us. This is the best part. The client said, I want you to come in and do the job. So I think that was a big lesson for others thinking and reflecting that, you know, I'm not going to sell you something you don't need. My whole point of my job is to create value. It doesn't matter whether it's $5,000 or 5 million. I need you to remember me after, you know, the sales and after the delivery and after the payment, even after the celebration. I want to hear a good story after it's been implemented. Say that the reason why we are here today is because of Protiviti, you know, because of the conversations we had with them.
Beautiful. Very nice.